Hey everyone, we are back live, March Madness, kicking off again. Let's get this weekend off in the right direction, right? This is Thursday, March 28th, my college basketball best bets, predictions, and I'm going to run down these 4 games tipping off live tonight. I'm super pumped for this, all right? I know I personally like the Friday card better from an entertainment standpoint, but this one, for all intents and purposes, this is a big one for my bracket. So I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of insight, go over a lot of different directions. So make sure you all subscribe down below. Smash that like button as well. And as always, guys, let me know your picks in the comments, which plays you are on for this evening. Okay, but this is the best time of the year. I mean, is it not? Look at the games. We got 4 tonight, 4 tomorrow. I kind of like how there's nothing on a Saturday. I know tonight's a Thursday, but I have no problem starting the weekend off a little bit early. So let's get it going. For those of you that are out there that have been watching my video, the voice is back. No more Robert Kennedy, so we are back live with a full recovered voice. A little bit of a rasp, but that's okay. We're going to go with it. We're going to run with it, and I hope you guys all like the picks tonight, and let me know, like I said, which ones you guys are on below, okay? But this is what we're looking at, the official odds board. When we look into the Oddsjam, this is where we're going to see these 4 games, right? CBS, TBS, CBS, TBS. So that's kind of what you have to look forward to for those of you that are trying to figure out the whole Turner Sports broadcast schedule. Within tournament time, that's obviously a hurdle sometimes you have to jump through, but with how streaming is today, I think you guys are all going to be doing quite fine, okay? But I do want to take the time to talk about today's channel sponsor before we get into the official plays. This is Oddsjam. All right, so if you're looking to sign up for new sports books, you're looking to get into arbitrage opportunities, track your bets, all these crazy things within the sports betting industry, Oddsjam is a truly valuable tool that everyone should be using. I have a sign-up bonus code down below. Use my code TBM to obtain 35% off your monthly subscription in that first month or off an annual plan. So check out our channel sponsor, Oddsjam. Do some research. Check out the platform. I use it on every one of my sports bets. It just really simplifies and streamlines everything and gives me a lot of opportunity, not just within sports betting, but within daily fantasy as well. So check it out, and let's get down into the picks. This is the first game, Clemson, Arizona. Okay, we're going to get into this a little bit more than I'd actually like to because I don't have one. I don't have an official play in this. I have no feel for Clemson. If you ask me with a gun to my head, Arizona has been one of the probably most outperforming teams coming out of the Pac-12 out of any team really in the tournament, okay? So I really have no way of betting against the Wildcats, but every single round that I've went against the Clemson Tigers in this tournament, and I've used absolute logic and betting analysis, they've let me down, okay? We're seeing a lot more of the betting splits, especially the money flowing in on the Clemson Tigers. And for the most part, guys, the favorites have won. They've won out in the after the first round of play, right? Last weekend, the favorites have won, okay? And that's something where I thought we would see it Sunday more so than we did, but there will be that reversion to the mean where the dogs start barking and barking loudly, okay? But this is one where we're looking into it, and the money we're seeing on the Clemson Tigers, we're seeing that betting split favor the Clemson money line. I just don't have a play. If I were to give you a lean, it would be towards taking the Arizona Wildcats. I just think they're the better team, the class, and I think Clemson, eventually that dam will break, and we'll see them absolutely get blown out, but that's just kind of how I feel about them, but they've proved me wrong every round leading up till every game leading up till today. So we're going to have no play in that official contest. Okay, next, this is going to be San Diego State, Connecticut. Okay, this is one where we're going and using the Boston Celtics mentality, that mantra, tried and true. You will not see me bet against the UConn Huskies for the rest of this college basketball tournament. We're riding this streak, 4-1 ATS in their last 5. Also, this is one where we're seeing this line kind of creep up a little bit, opening up at 10, and we can look at that Northwestern game. That wasn't the UConn performance that we all know and love, okay? So this is one of my official plays. Lock in UConn minus 10.5. You can still find it out there. Courtesy of Oddsjam, we're finding that right now in the market using BetMGM. So we're going to use UConn minus 10.5. They were really sluggish against Northwestern, not making the 3-ball. Also, still blowout. So that's what you have to keep in mind. I think this has the true potential to get absolutely ridiculous. San Diego State is not the type of team that if they can't get shots to fall, this is one where they're going to get absolutely blown out, okay? Yes, it is kind of a fishy number. The line should be moving. There's a lot of money flowing in on UConn, but it's not really seeing any movement past that half point, okay? So they pretty much think they got it right. So I'm not opposed to taking UConn minus 10.5. You can flirt with a little bit of the UConn team total as well. San Diego State is going to get in a leverage spot, in my opinion, where they're going to really have trouble chasing UConn, if you will, okay? And when that happens, if you start missing shots, things can get ugly. Nobody can really guard UConn, in my opinion. So for my money, that's where we're going to be betting the Huskies until they let me down, minus 10.5 in this contest. Next, this will be the Crimson Tide taking on the North Carolina Tar Heels. This is going to be probably a game where I have to be honest with you, these will be the two games I'll be watching. I'll be watching the UConn game and the Alabama-North Carolina. They will be on the main screen. We'll leave the sister screens, a little smaller screens off to the side for Clemson and the Illinois game. But within tonight's games, I really feel like this is an edge where we can get the Clemson Tide with some value. Possibly even look for a live betting opportunity. I'm going to be doing that, full disclosure. Also, full transparency, I have Alabama in the Final Four in one of my brackets, with North Carolina losing in this spot. So we're going to be taking the Crimson Tide. I really like the fact that you could have still got a 5. We're seeing 5s right now out there on courtesy of Caesars Sportsbook. That's something where you can't really find too many 5s out there. So there is still a 5 hanging around with Caesars. That's why we use Oddsjam, okay? But we're looking at this even further. I really like the fact that this is kind of a money line opportunity for Alabama. There's a lot of people on North Carolina. But what I'm going to be doing is Alabama can knock down some shots and get off to a hot start, similar to what we've seen with Michigan State. I have to hedge and protect my bracket a little bit. So I'm in a different perspective, but I do like Alabama plus 5. I actually even like, despite my bracket pick, I like a little bit of the money line. Okay, I'm not scared to say that and go out on a limb because a lot of the sharps out there are on North Carolina's money line. UNC is a highly underrated, undervalued team. And this is one where we're going to get into tomorrow's picks when we get into those 4 contests tomorrow when I make my video. Duke and North Carolina coming out of the ACC, a little bit slow, a little bit sluggish, but look at the ACC, guys. We got Clemson up there. It is a crazy outcome where the ACC teams are kind of holding strong and true a little bit quietly. All right, they're sneaking a little bit under the radar, and that's something scary with the likes of the pedigree ball clubs such as UNC and Duke. Okay, but we are seeing the majority of the money line taking UNC 93% of the money line, 88%. 93% of the people of the bets are on UNC plus 4.5. UNC minus 4.5. But that number's kind of going back down. Okay, that 5 is leaving the 5 ballpark and going towards Alabama. Very interesting. Okay, so it's kind of what we get into these reverse line movements, right? All the bets, all the money flowing in on UNC, but that line's moving towards Alabama. So maybe a little bit of money line exposure, maybe liability in the sports books where we're seeing a little bit of that exposure, but I am part of that exposure. So I'm going to take a little bit more on Alabama, hedgings for gardeners, I like to say, and we're going to double down on the Crimson Tide. I think they can really get it done against this Tar Heels team that I've seen let control go in games in the regular season. But this is one also, I really think it's an advantage. I truly do for Alabama. I think this game where they won against Grand Canyon, I think that's a very strong win. I think I'm going to go with that same logic with Duke over JMU. These are very strong wins and data points where, quite frankly, I don't think UNC's win over Michigan State is that big of a data point and something where I'm going to back the Tar Heels. I understand the metrics, right, defensively, rebound, but I just don't see it. So I am going to look live game opportunity, right? I am going to take in that plus 5, a little bit of a sprinkle probably on the Alabama money line. I think you can find that out there, plus 170. Caesars probably has a little bit more liability towards North Carolina. That's why they're giving you a juicy number within the spread and the money line over on their sportsbook. But that's where we're at, okay? And the live opportunity that I'm talking about is if we do see, say, Alabama get off to a hot start, let's say we could get North Carolina plus 3.5, plus 4 maybe. I might try to come back the other way just because of my liability I have within my March Madness bracket. and that's something where it's just, I'm still in it, $200 single entry. So it is my bracket of integrity, but I'm going to be riding that one. So I got to protect my interest a little bit because I am still in the mix within that smaller entry. I think there's only 30 people in it. So you kind of have to take a different perspective if it's outside of those multi-entry $5, so to speak, or just free entries where you're really shooting to hit some of these long shots. So not to go down that rabbit hole, I wanted to give you guys the picks. So lock in my second official play, Alabama +5 with a little bit of a sprinkle on the money line in that contest. Next, in the last game on the card, Illinois playing Iowa State. This game is going to be, not necessarily the most flashy by jerseys and by teams and perspectives in that matter, but this might be the best game of the night. Okay, this might be the truly best game of the night, and I think that's indicative by seeing a +1.5 point spread out there. But we're going to go in a different direction. I think Illinois has an advantage. I like Illinois with the points. I would lean towards taking Illinois. And we're seeing some of the money, the betting money out there kind of go alongside that and back me up on that. Okay, 79% of the money on the Illinois money line versus 58% of the bets. And conversely, a little bit less, 71% of the money on Illinois +1.5, coming down from that opening number of +2.5. You can find +105 money lines and +1.5 still out there in the market, courtesy of Oddsjam. All right, but this is where I want to share with you guys a little bit of my take. Okay, I do think that this is going to be an official play when we take the Illinois over 145.5. Lock it in. You can find that right now at FanDuel. That'll be my play. We're seeing a little bit of a pros versus Joes action going on, and I love that. I don't always lend towards the betting splits, but in these high value bet games, it really does show a little bit of the influence. Okay, so 66% of the money on the over, but only 52% of the bets. Okay, so that's kind of where we're looking at that metric. I am going to be taking the over 145.5. I think this is one where we potentially could even get an overtime, getting us over that number, but this is a clash. This is a clash of titans. Both of these teams very good against the spread. Iowa State 25-9, Illinois 22-12 against the spread over the course of the season. Illinois, though, and this is kind of what we're going to hold to, is they are 25-9-1 to the over on the card. Okay, so Iowa State, great efficient team on both sides of the ball. But I do see some value in taking Illinois. Possibly this is one where I'm back on the Illinois. I would lean towards the Illini money line as well. Iowa State, great story. They really have been one of the best teams. If we go based solely off of efficiency numbers, truly standing out there against the field that's remaining. Okay, but this is one where I think it's a Big 12, Big 10 clash. I truly like the Illinois in this. I'm not backing a side. Full disclosure, I will not bet the Illini or the Cyclones in this contest, but we are going to lock in the over 145.5. Simply just how I look at it. I think there's a huge shooting percentages are up. This is a lower total. I think it might slow down the stretch, possibly get overtime, and I'm going to lean towards the fact that in the Big Ten, we were able to see Illinois really showcase that they are truly an over team in a slower conference, going 25-9-1 throughout the course of the season and the early parts of the March Madness tournament. So that'll wrap up my official plays. Here we go when we look at a recap. UConn -10.5, Alabama +5, and a little bit of the money line in that game, a little bit of a sprinkle, and I told you I am going to be looking, just due to my bracket, possibly in-game live coming back on Kentucky during that game, just full disclosure, as well as taking the Illinois over 145.5 in that Iowa State game. So those are my three official plays. Appreciate you guys rocking with me. We are back live. This is an exciting time. We're going to be kicking off a little bit of a baseball primer. So all my baseball fans out there, let me know your thoughts down below to comment. I love the feedback. We're going to be firing up. Opening day is today as well. So video, it will be released very shortly. We'll see you guys all in the next video. Go cash some tickets tonight and have a great rest of your week. Cheers.